welcome to Wild, Wacky, Wonderful Humans. This is the podcast that celebrates the quirks, the courage, and the brilliance of being human. I'm your host, Jeanene Tracy, transformational coach and curious explorer. Let's dive in and uncover the magic of being wonderfully human. Welcome back. I have a really important question for you. And you may have asked yourself this in the past, you may not have, but it's a very incredibly important question. What are you waiting for? You can see where I'm going with this, right? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the car loan to be paid off? When the car loan's paid off, I'll do this. I'll buy that, I'll invest in that, I'll have that conversation. What about the house loan? What about buying a house? What about renting a house? When this happens, I will do this. Is there a conversation you're waiting for? Is there a place you're waiting to go to? Is there someone you're waiting to meet? Just for a moment, think about this. Have you ever, or are you currently, that's more important, right? Are you currently saying, I will do this when? And the reason I'm asking you this is, what is it you're missing out on? What experiences are you not having because you're waiting for something to happen? I'm going to give you a really good example. I had a friend many years ago who she wanted more than one child. Her and her husband had one child, and she always wanted to have another child. And he would always say, when we move into a new house, when we get a bigger car, when we get better jobs, there was always something. And you guessed it, right? They didn't have a second child. And that was what she wanted. And they never came to that. So another example. Years ago, I went for a trip to California, Arizona, and that's two places, by the way. I know that there's two separate places, California and Arizona. And I've always wanted to go to Mexico, always. And my husband at the time, we had kind of spoken about going to Mexico together. And so I was on this trip, and I had hired a car, and I was traveling from California to Arizona, and then I stayed in Arizona, and then I was traveling back along the Mexican border to come back to California. And I was literally only a few meters from the Mexican border. And I didn't go because I felt like, I had unspoken promise, if you like, to go to Mexico with my ex, right? And you guessed it, we didn't go together. And I have never been to Mexico. So I missed out on this incredible opportunity. I guess there's this thing where we have this feeling of letting someone down, or not honoring a person, or perhaps disregarding their needs and their wishes. And there's a couple of things I've got to say about that. One is, firstly, if someone ever makes you feel like you shouldn't be doing something that you want to do, then that's a problem, right? And I'm definitely not saying that happened to me at all. That was my choice. I made that decision myself. No one asked me to do that. But what I'm saying is, though, if you feel like, or if somebody does make you feel like you shouldn't have made the decision you did to enjoy something that they didn't get to enjoy, just take a moment to look at that and think about that, because that's not okay, right? You need to be enjoying your life, and you need to be doing things that make you happy, and that's not detracting from making somebody else happy, unless you're doing something that's unkind to them or malicious or intentionally hurtful, right? That's a very different thing. So that's one thing. It's, People, if you have people in your life who make you feel uncomfortable or unhappy with the decisions that you make that make you feel good, that's something to shine a light on. And secondly, if you're always waiting for the right moment, because maybe tomorrow it might happen, or, we'll do it next year, what if that never happens? And what if you never do that? I haven't been to Mexico yet. I really want to go there, and I plan to, but anything could happen, right? And that could mean I literally was on the border and I didn't go. How incredible is that? So I've got a question for you. How many things are you missing out on because you feel like you have to wait for something else to do the thing? There's, so much power in just doing it. Just do the thing. There's a beautiful guy, Matt, who, his slogan is do the damn thing. And I just love that. It's such a brilliant message, right? Because we feel like it's honourable to not do the thing in certain ways, right? Well, if we don't do it, then, tall poppy syndrome is a perfect example. And this is really prevalent, especially in Australia and New Zealand. And it's when, we're not really ones to talk about our success. We're not really ones to go, hey, man, I'm incredible. I'm really good at this. And, I'm a master at this. And I'm so bloody awesome. We're not really encouraged to speak in that way. And it's really interesting because when I hang out with Americans, that's one thing that I love about Americans actually, is that they're so straight up about this, right? It's like, yeah, I'm really good at that. Yeah, I'm the best. They're not afraid to say that. And I honor that because I think that's just so incredibly important to call out our beauty and our value and to not shrink it. I mention this all the time, and I will continue to mention this because it's so powerful. The Marianne Williamson's verse, poem, whatever you want to call it, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. So we need to celebrate our brilliance. We need to engage in the things that light us up willingly and without concern about what other people think about what we're doing and why we're doing it, right? Have a think about that. Like, what? Really tap into what is one thing that you're saying it'll come soon to that doesn't need to come soon. Or something that you could perhaps do today even, right? Today. Imagine if you literally just go, right, oh yeah, I've been waiting to do that. I've been waiting for my daughter, I've been waiting for my son, I've been waiting for my friend. Just do it. You'll be so grateful that you did it. There's, I just recently watched this really incredible film. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's called The Mountain Within Me. And it's a movie about an ex-rugby player. He was at the height of his career, Ed Jackson, I believe. He was at the height of his football career, his rugby career. And he was at a family friend's house and he dove into a pool and it was really shallow and he didn't realize it. And he became paralyzed. And so he was basically told by the doctors that he'll never walk again. You imagine going from the peak of your career as a sports person to you're never going to walk again. Can you imagine what would have flashed by, all of the things that you haven't done, right? I mean, he's incredible. He really made me, firstly, he made me realize that, the whole saying, why put off tomorrow what you can do today? I love that because it's a really powerful way of living, right? You're immersing, you're having an experiential life. You're not just making to-do lists to do in the future. You're making to-do lists to do now, in this moment, right here, right now. And that's just an activated way to live, right? It's an immersed way to live. It's an engaged way to live, rather than, oh yeah, then, when, okay. Because then that's what it becomes, right? If not now, then when? Does when ever come? I love that saying, tomorrow never comes, right? Because today is yesterday's tomorrow, and tomorrow is tomorrow's today. Get your head around that one. That's pretty cryptic. But So he really inspired me to just enjoy your life today without making excuses about what you should be doing or could be doing. Just do it today. So, what am I going to do that is something that I've been putting off? I'm going to actually start talking about my podcast, which I haven't been doing yet. I'm on to episode 5, and they're all published, but you don't know about it yet, right? You've only just found out about it. So I'm going to do that this week. I'm really excited about it, and I'm not waiting for anything else to be ready before I do it. So what is it that you're waiting for to be ready before you do it? This is such a cool, it's such a cool topic that I'm so passionate about because, there's so many times in my life when I've worried about other people and how it's going to affect somebody else by me doing something, when it might actually inspire people, right? If you go and do something, it might inspire people. You hear stories about, parents who just do incredible things, and it inspires their children when you might think it's taking them away from their children. But there's all balance, right? Everything needs to be well balanced and well considered to a certain extent, but also we need to wear our oxygen mask, right? If we wear our oxygen mask, we're helping people. If we're filling ourselves up with experiences and activating our senses and activating our desire for living, then that's contagious. It's really contagious. And I know when I withdraw, when I retract from the world and I kind of cocoon myself from experiences, I know that impacts people around me. And when I get out and do the thing and I'm experiencing the world through my eyes, through my ears, taste, touch, sound. What are the 5 senses? Sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. Those ones. I know when I'm experiencing through those that, it just feels like such an activated life, right? And people see that. Not only do they see it, they feel it. People feel your activated energy. Your vibration changes because you're living here and you're living now. And when you live here and you live now, you are a powerhouse. You are an influence on other people. So who's coming for the ride and who's going to do the thing now and activate this? Be engaged, be present, be here and be now. Thank you for being a light in the world. I look forward to seeing your light shine brighter every day, and I'll see you next time. With love and blessings. Thanks for tuning in to Wild, Wacky, Wonderful Humans. If you had fun, share it with someone just as wild and wonderful as you. Stay wild, stay wonderful, stay wacky, and I'll catch you next time.